Archive 110763. Corporation exploration of nearby systems discovered no life forms, only the ruins of long-extinct civilizations and the technological artifacts of their conquerors, the Hedoth. Humanity adopted these, developing the Hedoth-based systems, including Combots and Overseers. Earth's three largest corporations, Rimtech, Agro, and Neuropa Limited, formed an alliance to seek out these alien technologies. Eventually, their fleets discovered the Epsilon Andromeda system and the extensive Hedoth sites on 3 of its planets. Numerous survey teams were dispatched in the hope of finding the ultimate prize, functional Hedoth technology. Such a discovery would mean wealth and power beyond comprehension. And, as greed replaced the desire for cooperation, the alliance unraveled. The Corporation War began with 3 brothers, members of a Rimtech survey team. Stefan Angelus, a newly trained combat pilot. Jonas Angelus, the middle brother. And the eldest, Diego Angelus, leader of survey team Echo 2.
Okay, team. Standard search pattern. Move out. Jonas, see if we can use the Hedoth compod to tight beam base comp.
Alright, I'm on it. I'm stuck.
Damn it, Jonas, what have you gotten into?
There's some kind of malfunction. Help me get loose.
Stefan, call for backup! Overseer, can we com-boost a distress call?
Negative. The guard drone is jamming all typing frequencies.
Then we're on our own.
Incorrect. A squad of Milagro Skyhawks are on approach.
Not to assist us.
Negative. Their approach trajectory indicates bombing of the entire sector.
Jonas, eject your arm! We've got to get out of here!
I'm loose! What the? Stefan! Diego, get out of the way!
Stefan, are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. Jonas, that arm is incredible.
Think of the promotions we'll get when we turn it in.
Forget Rimtech. Do you have any idea what Neuropa would give for this technology? We could all be set for life.
And betray Rimtech?
Rimtech's only interested in profit. Why not me?
Damn you, Jonas!
Hey, stop! We gotta get out of here!
Jonas escaped the Milagro attack and took the arm to Neuropa. Soon, Neuropa exceeded the other corporation's ability to harness the power of Hedoth technology. Diego returned to search for Stefan, but the remains of his combat were gone. Diego had no way of knowing that the Milagro Corporation had rescued Stefan. Stefan's mind and body were rehabilitated by Milagro, and he was pressed into their service. Thus, the Angelus brothers' discovery ignited all-out war amongst the corporations. This report traces their struggle to gain dominance over the planets of the Hedoth.
Alright then. Greetings and welcome to our new Let's Play series. Welcome to Metal Fatigue. Yes. It's one of the many RTSs that sprung up during the dominance of the RTS genre. In particular, Metal Fatigue, I believe, was republished in May of 2000. So, well after StarCraft, Red Alert, and regular Command & Conquer series. I mean, Red Alert 2, I believe, was scheduled to be released in October of that year, and I think that probably didn't help this game all that much. Because for as novel a concept as this game has, it is rather average in its use of, well, units and all, and tactics and all that stuff. I mean, the Combots are fun, but don't get me wrong. This game does not feel very unique in any real way, other than that. I mean, the three factions are almost the same, aside from outfit appearances. Not really the asymmetrical combat you usually find in games of that particular time. I mean, just via the color schemes, you could almost just imagine this being a game set on Dune, with the noble Atreides, the insidious Ordos, the evil Harkonnen. Now, granted, I've not played in the Neuropa campaign, so I don't know exactly what that deal is. I have played enough of the Agro campaign to know they are definitely evil. But that's neither here nor there. Metal Fatigue was a game I was actually sort of kind of looking forward to back in the day, as I had played a demo of it, and subsequently lost the disc containing the demo. I have no idea where it went. I'm presuming it's somewhere in my collection, or it was among some CD-ROMs that I just lost during the move. In any case, I was never able to find a copy of Metal Fatigue in the shops that I had access to back in 2000s. And well, Red Alert 2 was just around the corner. I only had limited funds. But in any case, I've already wasted enough time with the introduction. Time to get some actual gameplay going on. So we'll start a new campaign on medium difficulty because, well, the game isn't particularly difficult from my initial look at the Rimtech and the first few missions of the Agro campaign. I am not confident enough that I actually have command of all the systems to do a hard campaign. Now, there's, as far as I can tell, most of the campaigns sort of play out simultaneously in the timeline, but the game does recommend you start with Rimtech, go to Agro then, and then Europa. So we'll do that. Rimtech prides itself on efficient, balanced operating tactics. It is recommended you begin here. Yep, I agree. So Diego Angelus.
The first Nexus subject is Diego Angelus. He was the eldest of the three sons of Rimtech's legendary Icarus Angelus. Driven by his strong personal ambition, devotion to Rimtech, and sense of family honor, Diego had quickly advanced through the ranks. Following the Milagro attack and the disappearance of Jonas and Stefan, the Corporation alliance began to unravel. Rimtech became concerned about other corporations encroaching on its territories. The Chief Tactical Officer, CTO Hansen, ordered all Rimtech forces to combat alert and distributed new orders for field commanders. Diego's tasks were rather simple. He was tight-beamed to a different sector of Hedoth Prime to erect a base that contained a combat parts factory and assembly bay. Once operational, Diego needed to construct 2 Combots to guard the base.
Alright, so there's a simple mission: build a parts factory and then an assembly bay, create and deploy 2 Combots. Diego must survive. Alright, so just basic background stuff that we need to know. Of course, the most interesting part is the log entry over here. Personal log, Angelus, Diego, serial number. Well, we're not going to do that. Entry 2295087. New orders forced me to break off the search for my brothers. I found the wreckage of Stefan's Combot almost immediately, but there was no sign of him, no body, no tracks. Maybe someone found him? I wish I knew. The morale of my staff is pretty low. No one wants to believe Jonas would be stupid enough to join those fanatics at Neuropa. But we all seem to think that's just what he did. Given the poor spirits, I can't believe CTO Hansen is sending us on a milk run like this. Any competent combat crew could handle this mission, but instead they sent someone with my rank to do it. My staff and I feel like we are being punished for letting Jonas get away with that alien arm. 3 months ago they were betting I'd be shooting for the next CTO position within a year. No one's talking like that now. Well, let's go. And let's get set up. Now we will need a parts factory. And I will get a vehicle factory as well. And now that particular group down there doesn't need to be there, so I'll just pull them back. Now we have basically 2 units to do all the fighting at the moment, which is essentially just tanks and missile cars. Yeah, and that's pretty much all the other groups also have. Nothing special. Nothing beyond that. Beyond a simple recoloring. I mean, the tanks essentially do a little bit more kinetic damage and a very tiny bit of energy damage. They have middling defense in this case. Alright, we're being attacked on both sides. Alright, so now Milagro tanks are a little bit different in that they have very high energy defense but very low kinetic defense. So my tanks should slaughter them quite easily. Alright, and you have arrived. Let's get a cryo farm going. Now we don't have to worry too much about what the enemy is doing, but still shouldn't underestimate them. Now, there's 2 resources we really need to keep track of. Energy and manpower. We don't have any manpower right now, which is why I'm building the cryo farm. Because that gives us manpower. Yeah, essentially if you need people to work in your corporation, you just defrost them. In the meantime, we also need some energy. So I'll just get that going.
Build completed.
Alright, we have enough surplus manpower. Now, I don't have to do anything particularly interesting, but let's see. Just make 2 of the same. The mission here isn't all that difficult. Also, you get into the... you can't yet, because it's not finished. Yeah, just 2 basic torso, 2 basic legs, and 4 arms of my own choosing. Could do with another half vehicle, but that's not really necessary at the moment. Yeah, so I was talking about what the missile cars had. The missile cars, essentially, I have less armor, or less health, less defense, and do a little bit less damage. But the biggest advantage, of course, for missile cars is that they can shoot up at flying units. Other than that, you're better off just using tanks for the most part. Until you can at least get Combots in the field. Alright, let's get some more energy. Now, energy you can get from either these lava pools or by building solar panels, although we can't do that in this mission because we have not been given the technology. And there's plenty of lava pools to go around, but that would essentially mean going up against whatever Milagro has got out there. Which we could do. I mean, I do hear a Combot stomping about, but he shouldn't be heading for our base.
Energy is low.
Alright, so
Vehicle
let's speed the game up a little bit. Yeah, this game can be annoyingly slow at times, but it's not all that bad. Alright, come on, finish the assembly.
Build Build completed.
Alright, let's get another cryo farm before we completely run out of manpower. And Diego get into the assembly building.
Construction possible.
Let's start constructing our combots. This is really just a milk run, there's no real danger on this mission. We're not required to kill anyone. We just need to have troops on hand. That will speed things up again.
Combat part completed. Energy is low. Combat part completed.
Let's deploy Diego. And let's have him stomp about a bit.
Build completed.
And now we do have a crew ready, so that should be fine. I can't do anything else really. I mean, I'd love to put down a couple more recon poles, but I can't. Because I don't have the tech. So I'll just send you over to harvest the lava. We should have plenty for this mission.
Combat construction possible.
Alright, so this green field is essentially a sort of defensive field. Any building placed within this has a bit of an extra defense. A sort of shielding layer.
Combat part completed.
But you don't need to build within this radius. It's just advised you do. And deploy.
Mission log concluded.
Easy peasy.
Going into combat without his brothers made Diego aware of how much he had come to rely on them, particularly Jonas as his second. Without them, he felt an edge had been blunted. He pressed CTO Hansen for the best available pilot as Jonas's replacement.
Alright then. Well, we have only 2 bonuses, or 1 bonus rather. So, just save.
Going into combat without his...
Yeah, we heard that.
Responding to reports of further Milagro raids, Diego was sent to establish the defenses of a Rimtech archaeology station. Its remote location from suitable landing sites made extending the defense grid to it a challenge. In Diego's favor was that he had been given the opportunity to upgrade the neural implants of his staff, and that he had been assigned one of Rimtech's top pilots, Isadora Toltec, as his new second in command.
Alright, so we need to get the archaeology station within the defense grid with the new building. We can upgrade our crew facility and our vehicles. Essentially just makes them better at everything. And we can pre-build some of our base, which is a kind of a neat feature. Because oftentimes when I have played these RTS games, I have wondered what blind monkey put those bases together. But in this case, that blind monkey is me. But in any case, I'm gonna call it an episode here. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.